Everybody, good morning. Welcome to day number 16 of the One Funnel Away Challenge. We're officially more than halfway done, which is crazy. According to a 30-day calendar, we're day 16. So hopefully you guys have still been enjoying this process. How many of you guys having fun so far? As I was working on some of the one-pagers last night and going through everything, I realized something that I want to kind of share with you guys, and hopefully you guys are seeing this as well, okay? When you look at business is not that difficult. It's only a couple different steps, right? And if you learn these core, 3 or 4 building blocks of things to do, then you'll notice that what we're doing is just kind of replicating those things over and over and over again, right? Like we talked so much in the first week about how all business is figuring out, okay, who's your dream customer, right? What's this big result that they want, right? And then from there, okay, this is the result. What's the step-by-step process getting that result? Okay, from there, we're going to create a framework, right? And that was the first step in the process, okay? It's creating this framework. And then it was like, how do we turn this framework into something tangible, right? Well, I need to either record a video teaching the framework, or I need to make a one-pager, or both. Or maybe this framework is software, so I'm going to create software to get somebody this result, right? But you're doing something to take this process of going from beginning to result and turning it into something tangible that now you can trade somebody for money, right? So that's the first step in the process, okay? And then if you notice, we've done this more than once, right? We did this for the front-end product. We did it for the offer stack. We did it for the OTO bump. We did like what are the results we're giving somebody each step along the way? Okay, so that was kind of the first step, is this process of turning result into something that's tangible, right? Tangible. Okay, and that right there, in and of itself, is an amazing skill set for you guys to learn, right? If you got nothing else from the One Funnel Away Challenge, then that is like, I know now what people are buying. People are buying results. I know that a result is just a framework, okay? And I got to figure out how to turn this framework into something tangible that I can now sell it to people. Okay, I met people all the time who are amazing, who have these ideas, these talents, these hobbies, these skill sets, all these things inside their head, but they don't know how to turn it into something tangible. Right? I think about teachers in school system, right? School system teachers don't know how to turn their knowledge into something tangible, so they go to a school which has turned it into something tangible, like, oh, it's English 101, and so the school figures out how to turn this system into something they can sell, right? And teacher comes in like, I don't know how to turn this into something tangible, so I'm just going to work for the school and take somebody through this framework. But as soon as you learn how to take it tangible and make it something that you can create, something that's your own, that's something that's proprietary to you, now you can start using this for all sorts of things. Okay, in the 5-day lead challenge, we use it as a lead magnet where you can trade somebody in exchange for the email address. Okay, in this challenge, we're turning it into something that we can change in exchange for money, right? But like that in and of itself, like that one skill set is amazing. And you'll notice we use this over and over and over and over again, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing that we had to figure out was like, okay, what's the structure? Like, how do we maximize this? Because obviously you can go out there and say, hey, here's my framework for how to get 6-pack abs. Give me $50, I'll trade it for you. And you can do that, right? And like when I got started back in the day, that's all that I did, right? My very first product was like, hey, I got a potato gun. If you want a potato gun, you should buy my thing. And that was it. That was the sophistication of our selling process. Okay, and that works. And for some people, like that's all they're doing. Just like, hey, I've got this framework. Let me sell it to you, and that's how it is, right? But as you guys know, the market is way more competitive now than it used to be, right? There's more people playing, there's more people competing, like things have gotten harder. And so it's like, well, what's the psychology of the sales process we're gonna take somebody through? How do we change things? How do we tweak things? Like, what does each step in the process need to look like for it to be successful, right? So that's when we started taking this framework, multiple frameworks, like, okay, well, we need to build this into a funnel, right? It's not just a product, it's into a funnel. And so we started to say, okay, here's gonna be the first thing. We're gonna have it right here. We're going to sell this one framework, right? Which is good. I can just sell that. But then it's like, well, how do I increase the value of that? Okay, well, what other results can I give people, right? And say, okay, let's make an offer stack now where they're getting this one result right here, but then the offer stack, they're going to get 4 or 5 other really cool results when they get this product and this product, and this, all these things to increase the value of this thing, to make this core framework, my flagship framework, even more valuable. Right? So you guys learn how to take this framework and make it more valuable by adding more things in there and increasing the offer and changing it from just a product into an offer, right? And so that was the section right here. We're going the transition from a product into an offer. Okay? So let's see if we number these. There's number 1 is that. Number 2 is this. Number 3 then is now taking this and turning it into a sales process, right? So we came from here and we said, okay, we need an order form bump. Let's add that in here. And then from there, we're going to have OTO number 1, right? And then OTO number 1, we use the same things as here, right? Okay, we needed to create a result. What's the result, right? Put it in there. And it's like, okay, we need an offer stack. Number 2, change it from a product to an offer. So we added all these other things in here to make an offer to increase the value. And so you did it again there, right? And then you go to OTO 2, which we're working on today. It's the same thing, right? We're going to figure out a result we're going to get somebody. We're going to turn it from a product to an offer, right? And that's the kind of thing. And that's what we've kind of learned over and over and over again. And so what's interesting is I was doing some of the one-pagers last night, I'm like, oh, sorry, and there's one more step. Sorry, and the step number 4 in the process, let me make these blue. So there's step 1. Step 1 is turning a result into something tangible. Number 2 is turning a product into an offer. Number 3 was figuring out the sales process. And number 4 was figuring out like how do you actually, like, what are the words that you actually use to convince somebody? What's the sales script on each step inside the process? Okay? And so as you're building out this funnel, have you noticed like we're just replicating the same thing over and over again, right? Okay, what's the result? Boom, we figured out how to make it tangible. Now it's tangible. How to increase the offer? Adding more things. Boom, that's done. Over here, what's the result? Boom, how to make it tangible? Boom, turn it into something. And now what's the copy? There's also copy on this page, right? What's the copy here? Number 3, what's the result? Boom, how to increase the value of the offer? Boom, what's the copy now? Yeah, yesterday we talked about the copy to sell that tool, that thing on that page. Boom. Now today, same thing, right? What's the result? How to make it tangible, right? How to increase the value of the offer? And then what's the sales script you use to actually sell it? Okay? And so these skill sets are what we're learning over and over and over again. And I want to show you that as that because obviously in One Funnel Away Challenge, we're focusing on a very specific type of funnel, right? This funnel right here. But this is the same process in any funnel. If I was doing a webinar funnel, I'd be doing the same thing. Page number 1, how do I sell it, right? What's the thing gets them in there? Number 2 is what's the message? Number 3, what's the product? How to make this thing tangible I'm selling? What's the offer going to be, right? It's the same skill set over and over and over again. And so hopefully you're understanding that like these 3 or 4 things you guys have learned, we're just going to be using them over and over and over again, okay? So these are the fundamental building blocks of any funnel. And so when it comes back, like in the future, when you guys are like, I want to build a book funnel, I want to do a high ticket funnel, I want to do a webinar funnel, I want to do a summit funnel. Like it's the same thing. You're just, like all you're doing is you come back here saying, okay, what's the result someone's going to get through my summit or through my webinar or through my high ticket thing? Okay, what's the sales process? The structure is going to be different. Right? But if you read the .com Secrets book, and here in .com Secrets book, I share 10 different funnel structures, right? So the one we're doing today is just one of the funnel structures, but there's 10 in there. There's other ones as well that I didn't cover in the book. Like there's a million different ways you could possibly structure a funnel. So it's like structuring the funnel. Okay, now I know the funnel structure, okay? Now what's the thing I'm gonna sell on the first page? How do I increase the value of the offer? Right? What's the thing I'm gonna sell on the second page? How to increase the value? Third page, fourth page, and then from there, what's the sales script I need for this page, this page, this page, this page? And you start learning that and you're just plugging these things in, it makes this game really simple, right? So while I'm trying to teach you guys how to build this specific funnel, like what's more important is I'm teaching you guys the skill set. It's kind of like, do you guys remember Mr. Miyagi on a Karate Kid? My kids just started watching Karate Kid, right? Because all their friends have been watching, Cobra Kai or something. And so my kids are like, what's that? I'm like, well, you can't watch that unless you've seen Karate Kid first. So if you guys remember Karate Kid, you've got Daniel-san's this nerdy little guy, gets beat up all the time, and he goes meets Mr. Miyagi, who's the man. And he's like, Mr. Miyagi, please teach me how to become a fighter, right? After he gets beat up a bunch of times. And so Mr. Miyagi's like, come here. And he takes him out to this lot with all these cars. And he's like, this is how you become a fighter. And he gives him wax in this hand and towel in this hand. He's like, you do it this way. You wax on and then you wax off, right? Wax on, wax off. And Daniel's son's like, what? And so he just keeps doing this, and he ends up waxing all these cars. He's all frustrated, comes back in like, dude, I want to learn karate. I don't want to wash your cars for you. He's like, oh, come here. Takes him over to this fence. He's like, okay, next lesson. You must paint the fence, right? And he's like having him like paint the fence. And Danielson's like, okay, I get it. He's like, no. You must paint the fence and like show him the right way to do the skill set, right? And then he does that 2 or 3 times. And finally, there's one scene in the movie where like Danielson's so frustrated. He comes back to Mr. Miyagi. He's like, dude, I asked you to teach me karate. I didn't want to do your chores for you. No. He's all upset. And then Mr. Miyagi throws a punch, right? And what happens? Danielson instinctively whoosh, waxes the car, right? And he throws the cake and he's like, whoosh, paints the fence. And all these moves he instinctively is able to do, okay? And so for you guys in this process, I want you to understand this is kind of the same thing I'm trying to show you guys, okay? I'm forcing you all to build a very, very specific type of funnel. And some of you guys have been fighting me, like, but Russell, I don't want to do that kind of funnel. Russell, I sell something different. Russell, my business, like all the things, right? And I see those in the comments. And I'm like, look, dude, right now we're waxing cars, okay? Wax on, wax off. I told you from the very beginning, I have no desire. I couldn't care less if you guys make money inside this funnel. I just want to teach you guys the process so that you can use this in any funnel, any business, anything over and over and over again. Right? All you gotta do is say, okay, this is not the funnel structure I want. I want to do a different type of funnel. Okay, boom, you map out the funnel structure. Okay, what do I do? All right, I need a result. It's what's the result someone's gonna get if they buy through this funnel? How do I make that tangible? Okay, how do I increase the value and turn it into an actual offer? Okay, and then what's the sales message for each step? Right? This is right here. This is wax on. Okay, this is paint the fence. This is I need to go watch that part of the movie again. This is the other one, right? But these are the building blocks we're trying to teach you guys. Okay, and so today's gonna be fun because today all we're doing is we're coming back to now the next page in the funnel. My question is like, okay, what's the product gonna be? So we'll talk about that first, right? And it's like, okay, cool, we've got that. How to increase the value of the offer? All right, sweet. Number 3, what is the sales message we're gonna plug in that video? Boom, and your homework's gonna go do that thing and plug it in, right? And that's kind of how this game plan works. okay? If you look at here inside ClickFunnels, we're building a funnel. This is literally what it is, right? Okay, step number one, what should the funnel structure be like? And I'm like, all right. I get the whiteboard out. I'm like, okay, we're going to do a page here and this, and I map out what the funnel's going to look like, right? And you just based off of one of the 10 funnels in the .com Secrets book. I might tweak things. Maybe instead of having 2 upsells, we're going to upsell and downsell. Or maybe we're going to have, whatever. We tweak things around, but we structure first. I'm like, okay, cool. Now what's going to be the offer on every single page? Okay, here we're going to sell this. Okay, cool. What's the order bump going to be? Okay, or what's the offer stack going to be? Okay, well, we could do this and this and this and this and this. It's like, cool. Now I know all the products that go on this page. Okay, what's this page? All right, it's going to be this. Boom, right? And then we go through every single page. And then I know, okay, here's a list of all the crap I got to go make, right? All the frameworks that I got to turn into products or services or software or whatever I'm going to do, right? And then we know, okay, now we know the page structure and we just sell thing for each page. And so everyone kind of goes and does their little things. We come back together, we plug them all in the funnel, we launch it, and boom, that's how the game works. Okay, so hopefully as you're seeing this, I just want to kind of point that out for any of you guys who are in this process and you're still kind of stuck or you're like trying to figure out how these things all tie together, okay? This whole challenge is Mr. Miyagi. You can call me Mr. Miyagi if you want, that'd be cool. So I'm here today to teach all of you guys these processes so that when you plug in any funnel in the future, any business, any whatever, you've got these skill sets, right? You got these things you figured out, okay? All right, so that said, today we are transitioning now to OTO number 2. I talked about this before. When we look at the way we structure this funnel, this is your framework, right? Okay, this is the framework by product, order form, bump. Right, this is the done with you version. This we talked about the last 2 days. This is like the course version, the masterclass version, or the group coaching, whatever that thing might be. Right, we're doing it with them, and then the third step in the process is the done for you. Okay, this is where you're going to do parts of it or all of it for them. And there's a lot of ways to structure that, okay? In the one-page video today, I'm going to show you 2 of Payne June's offers. Payne June follows this structure almost to a T in all of his. He's got framework by product, done with you, masterclass, done for you version in almost all of his offers. He's one that keeps, he's won, multiple 2 Comma Club awards, multiple 2 Comma Club X and 2 Comma Club C award. So he's one of the highest producers inside ClickFunnels. And lo and behold, he follows this process on every single one of his funnels. And I'm going to show you guys 2 of his funnels here. And you'll see kind of how he structures his done for you. Okay, done for you does not mean he's going to do the whole thing for them. Okay, it could be, but it's based on how you structure the offer. And there's a lot of ways to do this. So we'll talk about some of them, from like how to structure like a done for you offer where you're giving people templates to do the thing your framework teaches, right? That's how Payne June does his. Another ways are by offering coaching, one-on-one coaching, or coaching calls, or group coaching. There's a bunch of other ways as well. But before I get into that, one of my friends, Stephen Larson, was here the other day, and we were talking about this. I was like, man, everyone's getting confused on this whole done for you thing. He's like, oh, this is how I did it. And he kind of riffed for a few minutes. I'm like, wait, stop. Come on stage. Quick record on the video camera. Let's capture this. I want to be able to share this with everybody. So I got about a 10-minute video from Stephen here when he was here the other day, sharing one of the ways that he structures his done for you offers. That's very powerful. It's very simple, and a lot of you guys can do. So right now we're going to cue up that video, and hopefully this will help a portion of you guys figure out exactly what your done for you offer is going to be. And when we come back, I'm going to share with you guys a couple other versions of it as well. Sound good? All right, with that said, let's cue up Mr. Steve Larson.
What's up, guys? It's Steve Larson. Just wanted to share with you a very simple model that I like to use when I'm creating a done-for-you offer. That you can use this in your upsells. You can use it on your thank you pages. This is a very easy way to create an offer. And honestly, one of the reasons why we're doing this is because Russell just told you, hey, now you got to go create another upsell. And it's like, oh, now I totally get it. You're like, man, that means I got to go create another offer. And the first one felt hard, right? How many guys felt a little bit challenging already? Totally get it. And then he's like, go do another upsell. And you're like, huh? And now he's like, now create a second upsell. And so all I wanted to do is teach you a very simple way to create a done for you kind of offer that is very, very fast. I first started doing this probably 4 or 5 years ago. And what happened was I was like, I got to figure out a way to, I want to monetize some of my publishing. I want to put some upsells in different places like you are right now. And so all I started doing was putting an hour of my time out there I remember at the time I was like, I'm going to put an hour of my time out there for consulting for $100. And I was like, whew, I had a lot of money objections I was still overcoming at the time. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much money. It's a lot. Oh my gosh, who's going to do $100? So all I did is I put my time out there for $100 an hour, and it's using the offer that I'm about to share with you. And my scheduler blew up, and I was like, oh, that's a lot. Let's boost the time here. Let's boost the money. So then I was like, I'm going to go for, $200 an hour. And, then as soon as it got more, then I was like, this is a lot. I don't know that then I went and it was 400, then 500, then 1,000, then 2,000, then 5,000. Okay. Then I kept going. And I changed it based on how available I wanted myself to be, based on if I even wanted to offer that anymore, based on if I, right? So I started changing those numbers and how much I started charging per hour the further down the game I got. Okay, so done for you, our consultation is a great way to do a done for you type of offer, especially in an upsell. So if you're like, no, you don't have to do this. You can go, if you have another done for you offer and you're like, Steve, Russell, I don't want to go do that. That's totally fine. And use your own. But I'm just giving you a method. If you're like, man, Steve, I don't know what to put in the second upsell. Okay, this is a great way to go do that, just so you can start, continue to move forward. Okay, so this is under the basis that you are going to go and sell an hour of your time for a price, obviously. Okay, so as far as OTO, upsell one-time offer number 2 goes, and remember we're trying to create a done for you something that fits there. And previously we have a done with you and then do it yourself, right? And that's the model that you're learning right now from the One Funnel Away Challenge. The offer that goes really well right here could look something like this. And this is super fast. Doesn't need to be, this is an easy thing for you to go put together and then use the script that Russell's going to teach you on how to sell this. But this is the offer. This is a very fast way to pull this off. Okay. So first off, I'm going to give you, remember I'm making the offer stack here. I'm going to give you a 1 hour Zoom consultation. I'm going to, what else are you going to get? Let's give you, it's one-on-one. One-on-one. What else are you going to get? All right, because you could sell group. I've done group as well, where it's one-to-many. But for this kind of thing, I'm not saying you can't, but for this kind of thing, I'd probably stick to, one-on-ones. After this, I always offer the recordings. Say things like, I'll take notes. I always tell them to take notes as well, but I'm like, I'll take notes, you take notes. I'll send you mine at the end so you know what I see from my eyes in case you missed something or, if there's something you want to go back and watch again. I'll take notes and give them to you. I also, and you don't have to put all this in here. I'm just kind of brainstorming a little bit live in front of you. I also like to give the recording. Plus you're going to give the recording of the actual session that we do, that we can always go back and reference it. I do that a lot. I also like to give them, I say, hey, if we're on a call and I'm like, you know what you should do? Go do X, Y, and Z. You know what? I've actually done that in the past. Here, I'm going to give you these assets. It's actually a fun thing. I'll be like, so if you're on with someone, I tell them any assets you need. I'll give you any assets you need from our call. Messed up on spelling there, whatever. Okay, so any assets you need on, that we've talked about on the call. Maybe I'll send you the follow-up sequence. Maybe I'll send you, and I've done that many times. This is a biggie, okay? The recording and the fact that I'm going to give them assets that they can go build templates from, things like that. I've even gone so far, in fact, I've done this a couple times as well, where I will give a fast action bonus. Like, hey, I only have certain spots. This is my time. And I only am budgeting, I don't know, I can do 1 or 2 of these a day, or something like that. If you go take action now, I'll do a 30-day, in 30 days, we'll do a 30-minute follow-up, okay? 30 days out, 30-minute follow-up. Right? And that right there, that's a great offer to sell your time one-on-one. That's a great offer right there. And you go help them and just try to solve all the problems that you can in one hour session. Most of the time, when even I would watch Russell do his back when he had his inner circle, I mean, he doesn't need more than 20 minutes to solve a ton of problems for them. An hour, right? I'm bringing this up because most people have one of the big pushbacks is, an hour's not that much time, Steve, or I got to give my soul. Like what, you know what I'm saying? And I've got to bleed for this thing. An hour is a lot of time for one-on-one consultation. You can solve a lot of problems for someone like that. The other biggest question people always ask is like, well, how much should I charge for that? You figure that out. What I recommend that you do when you're trying to figure out price, go into your marketplace and figure out, meaning go to where you're going to try and sell. And whether that's virtual or in person, what are the price points you're commonly seeing? There's probably others that are selling hour consultation sessions. Figure it out, right? Figure out where it is that you are comfortable charging for. Maybe you start at $50. Maybe you start at $100. Maybe you start, I don't know, wherever that you feel comfortable with and that your industry is also comfortable with, okay? So you figure out your price. Now, one other piece that usually people will ask is like, okay, I like the offer. I believe you, Steve. I believe you, Russell. I'll do it, right? And Russell's going to show you the script that would go really well to sell this. The other thing is that, right, he's having you build a members area. So you're going to build a members area for all this stuff to get delivered in. It's super easy to deliver this in your members area, okay? So if this is the login page, and this is the actual members area, okay? That's the members area right there. And you've got your members area inside of ClickFunnels, and it's got the stuff if they bought the first thing. It's got the stuff if they got the second thing. It's got the stuff if they got the third thing, and so forth. All I do is I just put a scheduling link inside of the members area. So it's really easy. It's not like people have full claim on your time all the time. You choose when you want to be available to fulfill on that kind of offer. Okay, it's really simple. You sell it, and then in the members area is the scheduling link. You choose when you want to be available. They choose from the times that you want to go do all this stuff in. That's a great, great, great method and great model. So that's really it, honestly. So just recapping real quick. Here we go. When you're doing a done for you offer, a method is to sell your time. A offer you might see frequently would be something like an hour of your time. Make it on Zoom or make it a phone call. I would try to do something that's a screen share though, depending on what you want to do, if it fits for your industry. It's the fact that it's one-on-one. It's not one-to-many. You take notes, have them take notes, and you send your notes and the recording afterward. Plus, I'm going to give you any assets that you need. And if we don't really find any, regardless, I'm going to send you my little thing that's normally paid called XYZ for free, just for being on the phone with me as well. And I want to solve as much as I can for you. Plus, if you do it kind of quick here, my schedule does fill up. In 30 days afterward, we'll jump on for 30 minutes and I'll just spot check to see if what I helped you with, you don't have any other questions, any follow-up questions to that as well. That's a great method. And then as you start to feel like, you know what, I'm getting the hang of this. Sweet, maybe boost your price. Or I'm willing to do this, but only for a certain price now. I got other necessities in my business right now, right? Like, sweet, raise your price, right? And this is a great way to create the offer and make something that's very, very simple. That can also, after a while, it can start to really bring in and at least pay for some of your internet tools or some of the things that you need to run the business. So, guys, with that, let's turn back over to Russell.
All right, welcome back. Okay, so I want to show you guys that one because I know for a lot of you guys, you're stuck and I have no idea what this could possibly be. And doing what Steven just said is one of the fastest, easiest ways to get an offer done and created, where you can literally be live tonight and you're ready to rock and roll. Some of you guys are probably like, I don't want to do that. That freaks me out. I don't want to do calls. I don't feel comfortable. And that's okay. I'm going to show you 3 or 4 other ways to structure things as well. But it's one that's simple. And I remember a little while ago, some of you guys know who Dave Asprey is. And Dave, when I first met him, it was funny because he started this movement, getting people to do this thing called bulletproof coffee. And I'm a Mormon, so I can't drink coffee. I remember seeing all my friends doing it and talking about how great it was and all these things. I was like, I want to figure it out. So I remember I started going to his blog and started reading through it. And I was trying to figure out, how do I make a version of bulletproof coffee that I could actually have that doesn't have coffee in it, right? And I spent all this time trying to figure things out. And I remember at the time, he hadn't written a book yet, but he had a couple of products out there. He had some supplements. I bought a whole bunch of his supplements, bought a bunch of things. But at the time, all he really had was a blog, a podcast, and some supplements, right? So he's traditionally like he's an e-commerce guy, right? He's just selling physical products. And I remember on his website, he had a link where you could hire him for a 1-hour call. And it was $500. And I remember at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, I could talk to this guy who I put up on a pedestal and like, it's only $500, right? I was freaking out. And one thing that I think a lot of you guys are gonna have this false conception is just like, well, who am I? Like I'm just a dude, no one's gonna pay me $100 an hour. My job pays me $12.50 an hour, right? Or my job pays me $30 an hour, or doctors make $100 an hour. No one's gonna pay me for that. But you have to understand, you're not just some dude or some lady anymore. You are the creator of a framework. By the fact that you're doing this, you're selling this thing, instantly the people coming in are gonna be putting you up on a pedestal. Okay? Now at the time, I don't know, Dave Ashby did not have a huge company. It was very, very small. He had a couple supplements, he had a blog, and that was about it, right? But for me, I was like, there's this guy that I follow, and it was like this insane thing. It was $500. So instantly I went and paid him $500 for an hour coaching call. It was like a month or 2 months later before he could schedule out because he was super busy, and that's when the first time came up. And I jumped on the call, and it was crazy. There's a couple things. Number one, for me, it was awesome because I had been going through his stuff, but I had the ability now to ask him my questions, right? And so he was able to do this done with you. Or instead of me like going and reading the blogs and reading the podcasts or listening to podcasts and trying to figure out my own, I was able to say, okay, here's my specific situation. Here's what I'm not able to do. Here's what I am able to do. What would you do? And he's like, oh, just change this, tweak this, move this. And then he's like, oh, and by the way, do this. And like he customized this entire program for me that was amazing. And I remember after the hour was over, I was like, that was so cool. I can't believe I got to have this hour with him. And I asked him, I was like, dude, why do you do that? Like $500 for a call, in my mind, it was like not that much money for you. And he's like, yeah, it wasn't a lot of money, but he's like, but the most powerful thing is the people who are willing to pay that. I have this rare window where I have a chance to talk to my actual customers. Not all of them, not the crazy people, but the people who are willing to spend a little bit of money. I have a chance to talk to him. And it's like, what happens when I start talking to him is I learn a bunch of things. I find out what are the results that they're looking for that I could create something to help them with. I start figuring out what their problems, what their solutions are, what their things, and like he's like, this is how I get my customer insight, my customer data. Like I find out exactly what I need to make next by talking to my actual customers. And so for some of you guys, look at this as this is a way to get paid to do market research. Okay, a lot of you guys know I ran an inner circle, for 5 or 6 years here in this room. And people pay between $25,000 and $50,000 a year to sit in the room to be here. We had 100 members who were part of it. Right? And people always ask me, man, that's a lot of money to do the math. Like that's like what, $4 or $5 million a year you make off of doing this class. I was like, yeah, that part's good. But the reason why I do it is because I have 100 people in the room giving me market research, telling me what they like, what they don't like, what they're frustrated with, what they're stuck with. I'm sitting in the back like, I could create a product on that. Oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do this. And it's like literally giving me my own chamber of all my people giving me the best ideas, telling me what results they want, and I can sit back and say, okay, now what should I create first and second and third, right? And I have a whole bunch of things from there. And so that's just an idea, and you guys, especially if you're just getting started, it's one of the most powerful things to do. It's gonna help you to feel, when someone pays you for $100 or $500 or $1,000 for your time, you're gonna feel all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, my time is valuable, which is a big mindset shift a lot of you guys need to do. Number 2, it's gonna give you customer research. Number 3, it's a great offer to plug in here. And like Steven said, you can plug in for a while, you can turn it off. If it gets too high, you can raise the prices, a whole bunch of really cool things, okay? All right, so that's the first thing. I wanna show you guys a couple other ways, because I know some of you guys are like, there's no way I'm doing that, Russell. Even though you should. A couple other ideas. So let's pull up behind me Peng Jun's pages. So I'm gonna show you guys his funnel again real quick. Again, this is content multiplier formula that follows this teach. So this is the first page right here where he is selling his framework for free plus shipping, okay? Then if you flip the next page, this is one I showed you guys yesterday. This is his upsell number 1. Go to page number 2 here. In a second. Boom. So here's page number 2. This is his done with you version, right? Where he's selling the masterclass, right? Where he's going to go with the framework with you over, I think this is 9 modules, where he's going to go and take this framework and dive deep in it. It's 9 hours of training to walk you through the process, right? And then if we go to page number 3 now, this is his done for you version, right? Where basically on here, as you'll see in a second, he comes back saying, look, you have the framework, you have the course to learn it yourself. How would you like my team to do a lot of this for you? Okay, now they're not doing the entire thing for him. It's not like he's coming in and running their company and doing the social media stuff for them. But he's saying like, there's a lot of pieces of this, of what we're teaching you. Right now you have to go hire a designer and a copywriter and all these different people. He's like, but I already have a designer and a copywriter who's already making these templates for me. How would you like me if I just gave you my templates? Okay, so instead of you going and hiring someone to do it for you, I'll just do that piece of it, that little piece of your framework, I'll do it for you. Okay, so if you scroll down, you'll see kind of how we structure this. So right here it says, okay, the first option is you can do it yourself, right? The second option, you can hire somebody to go get all the graphics for you. Scroll up a little bit more. Or the third option, leverage my team and resource and let us do the work for you, okay? So the 3 options, like, okay, you got the frameworks, right? Do it yourself. Number 2 is like you got to go hire someone to do a lot of the parts for you. Number 3, let my team do a lot of these pieces for you. Okay, scroll up a little more. So what he offers here in this step is a social media toolkit, okay? So he's teaching this framework. There's a lot of things that people have to do, right? Like someone has to go and they have to create quote cards. They have to create video boxes. They have to create all these different assets. So instead of them going and hiring a freelancer to go do all those things, he's like, my team will bake them and just give them to you every single month. Okay, scroll up a little bit more. So you see how he structures. So done for you, item number one. He even calls it done for you. Okay, first thing we're going to do for you, and this is the training each month, right? So there's a training each month. He gives them, it shows them what's working right now. That's the first item. Number two, if you scroll up, done for you, item number two, okay? Ads of the month. Right now, he's like, my team's already researching and finding all the best converting ads. I'm just going to bring those and I'll just give you what my team's researching. Okay, so I'm going to do it for you. So you don't have to go hire your team to go research. My team's research, I'm just going to give it to you, right? So it's a byproduct of what they're doing anyway. Number three, 31 quote cards. Okay, he's like, every month my team's making 31 quote cards for me anyway. What if I just gave you those quote card templates so you can plug in your quotes into them and you can use them on your Instagram thing, right? So he's doing those cards for you. Number four is the video borders, right? My team's already making these video borders for me. What if I just gave them to you, right? That way you don't have to go hire someone. I'm doing it done for you. I'm giving you the thing that's already finished, right? Number five, he's like 62 proven viral images for Instagram. So my team's making these anyway. Let me give them to you, okay? And I think that might be the last step in the offer. Go a little bit higher. Oh, number six is his swipe up templates. Okay, so every month you give them swipe up templates and then keep going. Let's go down to the actual offer. So I want to show you guys how he prices this. So there's different ways to price it. So he prices his basically a little further up. Keep going to the bottom. A little bit more. There we go. So he's got his where basically it's normally $197 a month, but when we start right now, it's a free trial and it transitions to $97 a month. So he's turned OTO number 2 into an actual continuity program. Right? So when he buys that, they pay $97 a month for as long as they last, and then every single month he's shipping them out a new batch of all the templates and all these different things, right? Or they can sign up for a year for $897. Okay? And so that's how another way to structure done for you version. So think about if someone's going to do your framework, what are all the things that they're going to go have to do anyway? And if you're already doing them, then that could be the done for you. You just give it to them. It's kind of similar. We talked about the order form bump. We talked about the offer byproduct, right? What's the byproduct of your framework? It's kind of similar here. It's like, hey, here's more. Like we're doing it anyway. Let me take that stress off you. I'm going to do it for you. Okay, so that's another way to structure done for you offers. Does that make sense? Hopefully now this gives you two different ways to look at it. I could offer one-on-one coaching, or I could look at what's the byproduct of what I'm doing every month anyway. What if I give that to him monthly or give it to him one time as a special one-time offer? Okay, let's pull up the one pager now. So the one pager for today, there's a couple things in here I'm going to go through if we get it live. Okay. So actually, let's scroll up a little bit first. I'm going to show you guys right here. So I put a picture from Payne June's page here so you can just remind yourself, like, do it yourself, give it to an assistant, or number 3 is let us do it for you. So that kind of reminds you, like, this is the transition. This is what you're giving somebody. Now, I put over here some ideas, okay? Number 1, just to get the wheels in your head spinning, what you could offer as this third thing, right? Okay, number 1 here is, could you offer service? Right? Could you turn your framework to an actual service? We help them to implement it. You do it for them or your team does it for them. So that's the first thing. Could you do a service? Could what you're selling here be a service, helping them implement the framework? Okay. Number 2, could you offer templates? This is what Payne June does, right? Okay. What do we have over here that could be templates? We could just offer them that takes it off. So now we did the templates for them. They just plug in their stuff, right? Number 3, could you offer coaching? This is what Stephen talked about. Coaching could be one-on-one coaching. It could be group coaching. It could be a mastermind. There's a lot of ways to structure that. It doesn't always have to be 1 hour of your time. Okay, it could be like once every Friday I jump on open office hours. In fact, I've got a guy in the chiropractic market. He's one of my friends. I think he charges $500 a month for chiropractors to jump on an open office hour. So he's like Fridays from like noon to 3. He's like my phone is he logs into teleconference line. He's like I'm just sit there for 3 hours, and if you want to call anytime you want, you can call in. It's open office hours. Ask me any question you want. And that's what he sells for $497 a month. And he kills it with that. And I've literally jumped on the call before. And he sits there and he's just playing games in the background until somebody jumps on. 3 hours a week, every Friday. He just takes the 3 hours and he's on their open office hours. So you can do a lot of different ways to structure coaching, one-on-one, group coaching, open office hours, a lot of things like that. Critiques. Jim Edwards brought something from yesterday. He's like, people could offer critiques as well. Like, oh yeah, like implement the framework, and then when you're done, for $97 or $297, submit it to me, and I'll jump on a call with you and we'll look at your framework and see if you did it well, if you messed up, if you need to tweak things, you need to change things. We're going to give you customized things based on what you did. This is similar to what Dave Asprey did with me, right? I went through all his frameworks and his training and his blogs and his podcasts, and I had kind of like mushed together like my version of what my perfect diet would be. And I showed it to him. I'm like, hey, critique, this is good. He's like, oh, don't do that. Do that, add that, tweak that, boom, and give it back to him. Like, oh, sweet, thank you. Right? And that's amazing. And then other ideas as well. So use this as a form to start brainstorming. What could you possibly do? Okay. And maybe it's a variation. Maybe I'm going to give you templates. And then also when you're done, I'm going to give you a critique, right? And things like that. The one I've seen about the critique that I found, I've done that a few times, is that a lot of people sign up for the critique knowing that they're going to use it, but then they never actually finish the thing and they never actually apply for it, which is annoying. But it's something a lot of times you can make money even if the person doesn't actually finish the process. Okay. All right, so there's some ideas for you brainstorming. Now let's go back up to the top here. So this is the new OTO for OTO number 2. It's very similar to the last OTO script. There's just a couple tweaks and changes, as you notice. Let's pull up a little bit so I can kind of go through this. Okay, there you go. And Jim goes deeper in this training as well, and he's got software that will do the script for you. But it's very similar to the last OTO script, okay? So I'll kind of walk through. The very first thing is, they went through the first page, the second page, down the third page. It's like, hey, one last time, I want to thank you so much for investing in my How to Make Potato Gun product. And like you made a very smart decision because this is something that's going to help you finally get a potato gun, okay? And I want to talk about now the big payoff. Like when your potato gun's done, what's that going to look like? This is the big payoff, right? Now you're going to be able to shoot potatoes with your friends, your family. It's going to be amazing. But I got a question for you, okay? The question is like, how would you like my help doing this for you? Like, would you like me to help you put the gun together and get it finished so you can actually use it, right? Now, this is exclusive. It's not for everyone. The reason why is because it takes a lot of my time and energy to do it. But I'm willing to do this because I care about you. So because of that, I'm offering you guys a one-on-one coaching group. I'm offering you a custom critique. I'm offering you my group coaching. I'm offering you my done-for-you templates, whatever the thing is here, right? And here's the benefits we're going to get in here. Inside that, you're going to get this, and you're going to get this, and you're going to get this, and here's all things you're going to get. Okay, then here I talk about the future. Like, can you imagine no longer have to worry about how does everything go together? I'm going to be there to help you implement it and actually get it done. Like, can you imagine what it's going to be like when it's all done? Like, what do you like when you're out with your friends shooting potatoes and they think you're so cool, right? Now, all you do is to get special offers, click on the link down below. Okay, I have a guarantee that's going to be amazing. Otherwise, I'll give your money back. On top of that, here's the rest. When you do invest in my Potato Gun 101 coaching program, I'm also going to do some other cool things. We're going to have a one-on-one barbecue we hang out. We're going to go and make potatoes and French fries together, and whatever the rest of your offer stack is going to be, right? Now, in the past, we sold this for a lot of money, but right now, because you're here in the special offer, we're going to give you a huge discount, where it's a lot less, but you got to act right now. When you leave this page, it's gone. If you go see my homepage, we sell this offer for $2,000, but right now, you can get it for $297. It's going to be amazing. Click on the link down below. Okay, so it's very similar to the last one, but that's kind of how we do the OTO script, and that's kind of it for today, you guys. So let's scroll to the very, very top. We're going to give you one page. In fact, we'll have them drop the link to one pager down below. So here's the one pager for today, day number 16. When you come here, you watch the video of me kind of going through this process, helping you brainstorm. I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes of Paying June's offer, again, a couple other ones so you can just really see that as you're figuring out how to structure your offer. And then now, as you know, okay, I structured the offer. Here's what my offer is going to be. What else? So I figured that the offer, I structure it, right? Number 2 is going to be what are the things can I add to the offer to increase the perceived value of it, right? Number 3 is the sales script. Boom, record that. And number 4 is plugging it all in. Okay, so again, same thing today for you guys is go plug the video in, plug the copy, plug the offer stack, and get the product created, plug it in the members area. That way it's all done and it's ready. And that's kind of it for today. Tomorrow is going to be a day, we'll probably be a lot shorter in here live tomorrow, and then most of tomorrow is going to be you guys going and actually plugging these things together, plugging this page into the order form into this into this, and getting it all done. By tomorrow, the funnel will be live. People could actually go and pay you money, which is amazing. So that's kind of the game plan, you guys. I think that's it for today. The link is down below. Thank you guys so much. I want to thank Stephen for jumping in here and sharing some ideas as well. Hopefully it's got the wheels in your head spinning, the ideas creating. And with that said, you guys, I appreciate you all. Download the one pager down below. Jump on the live coaching call to get unstuck if you're stuck. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.